So I've got a few explosion variants now, and we can do this with different kinds of vehicles to get unique explosions for each of them.
Hey everyone, Raspberry here bringing you some key updates you should know about Hell Let Loose. Let's take a look at Dev Brief number 206, focused on the Stalingrad refresh and a full rework of the VFX on Hell Loose. This is the vehicle explosions, so let's go ahead and dive right in. Number 206 here again. The main update for update 18 is going to be for Stalingrad. With this, the first thing is a PTE announcement. If you're not sure what a PTE is a playtest environment. This will be taking place next Friday, August 15th. Unlike other PTEs, what's happening with this one is you will be able to go ahead and play only for a very limited time, which will only be, I believe, Friday is what it alludes to. This will be also featured with additional folks like Hell Loose developers playing inside of it. Some of the things you can be expecting is the full map rework of Stalingrad, and I would imagine possibly some of these VFX, depending on how much of a work in progress they are. There's also, I believe, some new ambient VFX that are featured in this as well. So let's go ahead and take a look. So technical updates, the ambient VFX. So here, I've gone ahead and moved the screenshots as if you can kind of see on the website, it has this dirty look to it, and that actually reflects on the pictures. So I've opened up the picture to give you a better look at it so you can go ahead and see, and this is how the picture itself looks. So you can see that it looks like there's been some sort of lighting pass on it. The ambient looks a little sharper, and I don't really recognize this specific building. Obviously, the building appears to have like some sort of explosion and crater directly in the center. But this says that the lighting itself has been changed. So directional light colors and intensity has been tuned. The skybox itself has been tuned without blowing out the highlights. HDRI lighting updated to better match the skybox, and post-processing to reduce the warmth and to add some contrast to counter the flatness sometimes experienced with more overcast maps. So looking at the second screenshot, you can see that new skybox. Very realistic looking. I think it looks a lot better than the current Stalingrad, and just holistically, that lighting looks okay, I suppose. I mean, I don't really know how it'll look fully until I'm in there. These pictures aren't really like super high resolution, which I think is like kind of a bummer. I also wish there was like a very bright day, but I think this is the day itself is just kind of an overcast. So the next thing it shows is there's a morning, dusk, and overcast. So let's go ahead and take a look. So I've opened them again in separate. Oh, okay, there is a standard morning. So let's go ahead and take a look. This is the morning. Does look a little bit warmer itself. The ambient, you can hear that. It sounds somewhat similar to what it was before. Looking at the weather effects, this is the... Actually, let's go ahead and take a look here at the overcast. Here's your overcast look. Again, these are in 1080p at full, so it doesn't look super great. I think a big improvement is they can have this at least in 4K. And it's a very light look at it. And then let's take a look at the dusk. I'm not sure if I have dusk. Yes, I have dusk here. All right, so this is your dusk look. Dusk actually looks one of the nicest. I do also like how they're pivoting. If you have noticed, like instead of having night maps, they're having dusk. I think it just adds this extra dynamic. I think the dusk itself looks good, but also it's just not night. Night sucks. All right, let's take a look. This is what I think probably one of the coolest things is the vehicle explosion VFX. Now, it says this is a work in progress, but let's go ahead and read through it. So as outlined in our roadmap earlier this year, we're working on delivering much needed improvements to our vehicle explosion VFX. Our technical art team has begun prototyping enhanced and more varied explosion effects to bring greater visual impact and realism to the battlefield. Please note that this is still a work in progress and will continue to be developed before being introduced into the live game. In the meantime, we hope you enjoy this behind the scenes look, showcasing what they've been working on so far. So let's go ahead and break this down.
Hi, this is a quick video into some of the vehicle explosion VFX that I've been looking into. So I've got a few explosion variants now that we assign based on vehicle type. So you can see if we were to destroy a Jeep, we get a different explosion to a tank. And we can do this with different kinds of vehicles to get unique explosions for each of them. So yeah, the VFX do need a bit of polish. I've been looking at a Houdini pipeline for generating some flipbooks for these. So yeah, this is how it's looking.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. So I think the first notable thing is that there will be a different explosion for each vehicle type. The first vehicle, if you can even make that out again, it's like very rough 1080p, is the Jeep. So here's the Jeep explosion.
If we were to destroy a Jeep,
so you can see it looks like, I mean, that thing is just coated in like 50 gallons of fuel here. But I think just high level, immediately you can see that there's a lot more flames than I think are needed. But the flames themselves look far more realistic.
we get a different explosion.
It has dynamic smoke. So I think overall, compared to what we have as a PNG, it looks better. Looking at the tank explosion, so that is far different, where you can see slightly, it looks like it kind of busts out of the side of the turret a little bit. Okay, let's go a little slower. See if I can get that going a little tighter. So that rocket goes off, it hits it, and yeah, you can see the two big puffs of fire and then the one, and it looks like you can have that for each. And then again, back to the Jeep, it looks like a big fireball. So I looked up a little bit about what he said here in reference to Houdini. I am not a developer. I have no idea. But based on what ChatGPT had to say, was essentially Houdini itself is essentially like a fluid dynamic and like some sort of like fire, smoke, natural dynamic simulator. And it could simulate realistic explosions like you're seeing here. Now, the cool part is that you can customize and tweak those kind of explosions to fit your needs. And then what you can do is you can essentially use that base template for the game engine itself. So if you have a really nice explosion that you like, you can then take that and you can ensure that's replicated. What does that mean for us? So that means, number one, more realistic explosions in general, right? You can see that right on your screen. Fairly realistic fireball coming out with realistic smoke and so on and so forth. Number two, you can customize it per vehicle. So each vehicle now will have a different explosion type. So ideally, you could have a Jeep, truck, light, medium, heavy tank, all exploding, even like maybe different tanks, like a Tiger tank blows up different than a 76 and so on and so forth. And on top of that, theoretically, what you could do is you could go ahead and build out a tank cook-off. So we could see something similar to what you see in like Squad 44. The ammo will explode out and like will actually kill you. You can hear the Roman candle there. The ammo's starting to cook off. There you go. So tank cook-offs confirmed? I'd say yeah. I would say, I think absolutely. It is within the realm of possibility now. So super, super exciting. I am very much looking forward to this. And I think on top of this, think back to the roadmap. The roadmap said a tank rework. Is this just the first part? I think so. Looking at the rest, weather manager. So the weather manager itself, we've added weather to Stalingrad and weather to the legacy maps. So taking a quick look at Stalingrad, this is with the weather, and you can see the weather change here. And the weather itself seems like it's, I'm not sure if it's rain or it just seems more like fog rolling in. I do like the way they do the fog as well, how it gradually comes in and it's volumetric. You see that kind of come in front, but it's not overwhelming, I think. I mean, you definitely blocks off sight lines there. See that rolling in, that fog, continuing to roll in. Oh, shit. Listen very closely. Do you hear that siren? The air raid siren? Listen to that. Oh, that's actually sick. I did not hear that the first time I listened to it. So there's new air raid siren in Stalingrad. And then going over to the next ones, they've added this to Carentan U.S. offensive and Carentan German offensive. So taking a look here, this is your Carentan weather enhancement. So you can see it starts off a little gradual. You can kind of see the rain effects there. It starts picking up more and more, and watch the fog as well, as you kind of see the fog and like far away rain coming in. See it clouds up a little more. Obviously the clouds come over more and more, and you have heavy rain going in. Relatively heavy rain. Oh, there you go. That, you see that rain in the distance, the fogginess of the rain, and the ground as well getting more soaked. So that's your look at the Carentan. And then last but not least, of course, just the community updates here and war correspondence. Make sure you check out my video here where we do the tank only event. So that does it for the Hella Loose dev brief overview number 206. Are you looking forward to the new Stalingrad rework, full rework? Are you looking for the map refresh? Are you looking forward more to the visual effects enhancement? Or are you looking forward to something else and you don't like any of this? Let me know in the comments. And make sure you hit the subscribe button for more. See you later.